Hello and welcome back to another episode of Wars the Black Prince. My name is Saiken. Today we are continuing our blind playthrough on the harder than hardest difficulty. It's time for an assassination. More importantly, we are seeing the Grey Squad, the one that hasn't really worked out so well in the past, potentially the weakest of the three that I've built. Because I'm trying to make daggers work. And here's the problem with daggers. They just don't deal a lot of damage. The dirk deals, if you double dagger, you do have a pretty sizable crit chance. It doubles when you're attacking from behind, so you need to position very well. However, this damage isn't as great as it looks, even if you're critting. It is not that good. The dirk is nice because you get that extra potential poison attack, and we're going to see quite a bit of that. Normal dagger is 8-12, looks great, but is really bad against armor. So whatever we do, we need to be careful not to hit armor targets. We got a little bit of extra bleeding effects with us. I wanted to test this bulwark. Not tested that yet, so hopefully we can use it. Potentially fits better into the tank group, just so that you block something a space off, and then you have a narrower choke point. But let's just use it here and see where it goes. And we got a couple of different skills on the gunner compared to the last time. Scattergun, that seems like a really neat skill. I've tested this a couple of times, so going to look into that a bit more, and then let's just check how the gunner performs overall. And that's really the team for now. So let's get to it, boys. Let's get jiggy with it. Cool.
Remember, no quarter.
Got to capture this guy. As always, we're using the bear in order to scout for us.
Ready to go. The hunt is on.
Double dagger, man. Can't believe it.
At your service.
That is really something else.
On my way.
The unique dagger has a couple of interesting features. Let's go through them real quick.
Ready when you are. On my way.
I'm curious to see if
On the move.
with further dagger upgrades, if this team will actually work out. I've played it when I didn't have all of the dagger upgrades, and I was quite frankly unhappy about the DPS. As much as I like the idea of a weapon that has positional damage, anything but the duelist, that really doesn't make a whole lot of
My blade is yours.
For the duelist here, the second weapon set is a dodged base weapon set. So it's sword and shield, so that I can maximize the dodge rating.
At your command. Very well.
Getting our front line set up over here.
The first to move.
At your service.
We need to
On the move.
get these guys here
The first to move.
to flank.
Yes.
Okay. And let's play this front to back, shall we? Yeah, I was thinking if we could do overheat.
Ready when you are.
The answer is we can't. So I I want to test out these bulwarks. Creates partial cover between the cell occupied by the companion and another adjacent cell. Okay, cool. So, what you're telling me is it's potentially not the best use of cover. We can't put it right next. Okay, I see. Can't put it right next to another sort of cover, so you can't build an area where no enemy can enter. That was one of my immediate train of thoughts. What about taking like 6 or 7 of these crates, and then melee characters can't get over it unless they can destroy the cover. Okay. Well. How about we're starting with some neat little poisoning. Nice. Oh wow, that was good.
Understood.
Getting out of the way. And now the core idea is to kind of get behind the targets. For starters,
At your command.
I would like to be in a position where we can hit multiples. Like those 3, good starting point. But I think if we time it well, we can hit even 4. Like the range is what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I was to stand here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so I would need to stand over here, and I could get at that guy as well. The question is, do I want that? Need to assassinate the Baron here. We can capture this guy. Now I will say, before we do something more, if we can make sure that you are rooted, that didn't work out, unfortunate.
It's time!
Good, there is another burning. I like it. 28 points of damage. Thick.
Yes!
So who has the cup?
I won't
That's a good
disappoint you.
question. It's actually us. Can we taunt? Yes, we can. And we can also dish out damage to that other guy. I want the 28 points of damage to run through.
On my way.
We're using positional, a position against the English warrior first.
Ready to go.
This bear could be our main
On my
target.
way.
Coordinated strike, 1 hit, plus sweep. This guy's almost down. Good, now he's dead. Fair enough.
Ready to go.
Good, this is a
Die!
guaranteed crit. And the warrior is facing up.
Yes.
Now, we could either hit from behind, but the two quick attacks are better against targets without any armor. We have the chance for further random debuff or attack from behind ignores enemy's armor, which is exactly what
Keep
we
your
want to
guard
do.
up.
I think we're not exactly behind. We would need to stand in his position. Alright, switch to sword for now.
Don't expect mercy.
This guy is taunted, and I just want to let the 28 points of damage come through. Move to here. He's still okay. Yep. Okay.
Ready when you are.
Cool. So the English warrior still is standing.
I won't disappoint you.
Let's make sure we're getting the rest down. Just need a little bit of damage here. Good. Dead, dead. English warrior likely not dead. And yeah, well, it is what it is. This is our best chance to kill someone. Would have needed to be a crit, and then the poison would have needed to go through, but it's okay. Not the best, not the worst of turns. Our gunner might take a bit of damage. Well, it's the bear at the end that takes the damage.
Yes.
Good. This is pre-capture. I like that.
Yes.
Heal up the bear, because he's taken all of the hits. This guy's
At your
already
command.
dead. I want the positional buffs against
On
the
the move.
veteran. The veteran is also dead, but I want to at least see if this here would have worked out. So, cool part about the dagger is it has a huge poisoning chance. Well, not huge, it has a 100% poisoning chance.
Yes.
We want to get you taunted, and then while we're at it, drafting.
Ready when you are.
Let's load up our gun. Might stick prone. Nope, resisted prone, unfortunate.
On On the move.
The Baron, in good old fashion, resisted everything that we did.
At your command. Give up.
There's no teamwork. Don't have
Ready to
elusive,
go.
unfortunately, on here, which is a bit of a shame. Could still attack, as you can see, but yeah, it doesn't really make any difference. We're going to waste the sparked arrow,
Dodge that.
mainly to make sure that we can definitely kill him.
On the move. At your service.
At your command.
Alright. First engagement, I would consider it to be a
Yes.
win, at least in
Yes.
my book. Bear is still going to be our scout. The damage this time was a bit better than the last time, but the daggers aren't completely useless. The ships also,
Yes.
with their poisoning ability, are actually quite nice.
With me.
We are at 40% normal crit chance, but we would need to improve that. So either positioning bonus so that we have multiple people flanking, which then again is a bit of a waste because with other weapons you don't need to have that, and it's actually
Ready
an
to go?
anti-synergy for some weapons, like the halberd, which would then hit our own people. Other than that, you really just need to substantially upgrade the crit chance. And I'm not 100% sure how we would do that. More than 40%, that is.
Ready when you are. On the move. I won't disappoint you.
Good, we can drink resilient, but that is only for one,
Yes.
unfortunately.
I'm away.
Gunner gets to the top here.
Yes.
The idea for positional bonuses is good.
At
I
your
like
command.
that. And finally, our other ambusher. Let's switch to set number 2, just in case someone attacks us. And that is a prep for next round.
Yes.
Yes.
That lasts for 2 rounds, right? Inspired lasts for 2 rounds, yeah. We're not going to drink the stimulant elsewise, so might as well get the Valiant buff that lasts for 2 rounds, so Unfortunately, the temporary armor only lasts for 1 round, which makes it a bit of a dud. I think these things should generally last for 2 rounds, because it's such a limited time when you're using them. Oh, for once it has worked. But it's nasty. That was a good hit. Well,
Yes.
well.
Yes.
Okay, interesting. Well, we're not going to flee this.
At your command.
I actually would want to fight this one out. They position very well to not be attackable
My turn.
in large quantities. We don't have a clear front line. I can't really get all the way to here, which sucks. Otherwise I could do the gunpowder explosion there. They just can't move. Let's start with the obvious couple of choices, shall we? We could position ourselves over here.
At your
That
service.
allows this positioning
Consider it done.
into incense onto everybody. That bonus healing wherever needed. And I think this one here is fine as well.
Perfect strike. At your command.
Good.
My turn.
Can we hit both of these guys? No. Well, we can hit both of these guys. Chance inflict burning and destroys a wooden
Try this one.
cover. There's the burning. Trying
It's
to
about to
shoot
blow.
him down. If he's prone, he cannot attack of opportunity, which of course didn't work out.
Yes. Very
We'll take that one attack. Good. And now that we are behind, let's start ignoring armor. I was hoping for a bit more.
I'll be quick to finish.
Good. We got this one taunted. Our friend has used his one attack of opportunity. Which means we can sneak in here. Get a coordinated attack in. Is he poisoned? No, but burning, which is good enough, but it's guaranteed crit. Still not a kill. You can see with hatchets, for instance, that would have been a kill, simply due to the higher amount of damage that you're dishing out.
On the move.
That's down to 6.
It's time.
There we go. You're bleeding, that's perfect. Okay, well, we could place this here in order to protect us. Might as well. Okay, it's a start. And you need to stay here. He's slowed. He can still move. Taunted. Resisted the prone. Unfortunate.
Out of my way.
And another dodge. Okay, this is a bit of a shit show. We are missing, they are missing. And bear might go down. Oh wow, that's a massive hit.
Damnation!
Hilarious.
At your command.
Good, we're moving to here. AoE healing for all of us. There is the poisoning. And damage plus armor reduction.
Dodge that. At your command.
We're switching to the shield so that we have the maximum chance to avoid his stupid attacks of opportunity.
Understood.
That worked out well. Good. Let's see the
Ready when
dagger
you
in
are.
action.
My turn. Duck your head.
One hit, two hits, doggo dead. The gunner is a pretty solid class, from what I can tell so far. Moving a little bit further to the exit. Good, let's see the daggers in action. Two hits, both of which can poison. And a random debuff. Let's start with the random debuff. Critical hit, weakened throw. Okay. I mean, that is a good start. Damage isn't ultra high, but we got a good crit chance. And see the poison stacking up nicely. The dagger is an interesting weapon, but I still need to
At your command.
like work well around it.
At your command.
15. Can I deal 20 points of damage? That's a good question. Maybe. Yeah, I think that was enough. Okay, fantastic. That tracker is down.
Yes. Consider it done.
Okay. And now the bear is down. Still want to do that gunfire explosion, but unfortunately
On my way.
it need to wait until another time. We're just going to shoot him in the back.
Yes. No problem.
So I would say the team with a fully upgraded weapon has been doing much better than beforehand.
Yes.
Much better. We got enough
Very
healing, even for a tougher mission like this one here.
Yes.
The tanking
I won't
worked out
disappoint you.
very well. I'm actually quite happy about it.
Yes.
And
Okay,
although
position.
this little cover didn't really do much, most of the skills and the combination worked out well. There are still a couple of obvious blatant flaws here, Crusader armor. Already got this. A couple of blatant flaws here. So let's look at it. For starters, we have a lack of frontline, right? So we have him as a tank and the bear, and that's pretty much it. Both the Beastmaster as well as our duelist actually want to flank more than they want to tank. I ended up tanking a little bit more with the duelist, and that's okay. So they can attack from behind and then kind of stand there with their shield. That's actually a neat little combination. Bottom line though is the daggers. In order to use the daggers, you want to actually use both of the actions for the daggers and not one of the actions to basically taunt an enemy. So that's problem number one. Problem number two is I don't really know where that team wants to fight. They don't want to fight in a closed space where a small front line would be good. They don't want to fight scattered, but they also don't want to fight too close up. So if they have a bunch of close-up enemies, yes, you do have scatter shot and you do have poison, but really they excel in spreading out, but then we are lacking crowd control. So in order to clean this up and make that a little bit more streamlined, I think a little bit broader front line would be helpful. The gunner currently does not fit that well in because he's also trying to get behind the front line. Essentially, you have this ultra small front line, and then 3 people want to get behind. He wants to do his explosion, and these 2 want to attack from behind. And the other problem is we don't have elusive, and there is no item that gives you elusive, because that really would be a nice little change of pace. Unfortunately, stuff like a blinding, for instance, doesn't really change attacks of opportunity. That's a bit of a bummer. It really is. Mending or blinding. I mean, the blinding pack sometimes turned out to be quite helpful. And when he cannot flank, then that would at least give him something to do. So yeah, the elusiveness is missing. So disengage would be perfect. Maybe I'm judging too early, because this attack here will give elusiveness, and then you can basically get behind the enemy. We're going to go with repause just because it's such a good skill. A little bit more poisoning makes sense. So yeah, we gotta keep in mind this team isn't finished. It's not the finished product. These guys are barely level 5, so if we look at a couple of the abilities that were to come, we got more crowd control with hallucinogenic mixture, and Magnus Opus will definitely give us like a really big oomph, repeatable that is. Then in terms of the Beastmaster, Crowstorm will solve a bit of the AoE issues that we're having. So that's good. And with the Bestial Union, we're getting a bit more resilience in. For him, I think Enlightenment is the way to go, because he can give Enlightenment to basically either of these 2 guys to get behind the scene, and then as the final product, maybe something like Guardian Angel. Sounds strange, but in this very specific combination, it might not be too bad. Holy Retribution is always good though, because it gives you a second frontal AoE together with the built-in AoE from the Halberd. That's a good one by definition. For her, I think the disengage is great. And really, where she will shine is executioner, attacking from behind, restoring movement points, and if you're anyways elusive, then kind of going to the next target. So that would be good. Here it's a bit tough, but maybe object terror with the 2 random debuffs isn't too bad. And for Grey 5, I think, funnily enough, performed very, very well. It would be one of the combinations where I think I wouldn't necessarily go into pincushion, but taking kind of high damage hits, massive damage, doubling your crit chance as well as critical hit damage. So that wouldn't be bad. Pinpoint accuracy, that is. Might as well try that. So yeah, a bit different consumables, and then other than that, it seems very good. We gotta defend the position, which is upcoming, and I have to wonder, is the yellow team ready for that? It's definitely amongst the most difficult types of missions. We would have another gunner, but I wanted to keep the original character of the team. Double 2-hand weapon frontline seems like a cool concept, so let's go with that. Since we are in such a tight space, we will definitely need to get as much healing as possible. Not sure if I need that or if I'd rather go with that. I think it's almost better. Good, Berserker tonic. I like that one because you can kind of preempt it for the next round, and it seems pretty strong from what I can tell. We have 1, 2 instances. Are we taking a third one? Question. It's going to be a really tough mission, so since they stack, might as well get another one. They are AoE on top of it, and we're going to fight in a situation where I think having more of these rather than not so many will be helpful. And the bear tends to accumulate status effects like mad. Very low willpower on this thing. Good, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hard heals. That's good. We got a couple of different arrows that all make a whole lot of sense. As you can see, weapons, we finally reached kind of level 3 with most of the weapons here. This team is ready. I mean, it's level 6 compared to the others. This will be a very hard mission. Defending something for 10 turns is not a small task. Okay, that's it. That's what I had for today. We are going to join in the next mission, the Intoxicating Outbreak, which is a storyline mission. Thanks a lot for watching, guys, and see you all next episode. Bye bye.